TNT.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Good morning.
Sam Healy. Good morning and welcome back, everyone.
Welcome to Board Game Breakfast here in Hurricane Alley.
Hurricane Alley, is that what we're calling it?
Isn't this? We are in Hurricane Alley, right?
Probably. If there is such a thing, we're in it.
Yeah, well, we still don't know where the hurricane that is coming. Hurricane Dorian, the bad smelling fruit. Oh, that's durian.
That's durian.
That'd be a good name for a hurricane now.
Bad smelling fish. That's a fish platter, isn't it?
No, durian is that fruit that smells really bad. It's banned in Malaysia, hotels and stuff.
I thought it was a fish platter.
That might be it too.
Anyhow. It smells really bad then if you thought it was fish.
Anyhow, we don't know what's going to happen with the hurricane yet, so we'll know as time goes by. We're pretty sure it's going to hit Florida somewhere.
I would put money on hitting Florida somewhere.
Would you?
Wait a minute. You would bet on other people's misfortunes?
Ooh.
Yes.
Alrighty. But anyway, we got stuff to talk about in the board game world, so let's get started with the news. Someone said they're taking bets as to when the power goes out.
Oh man, like today, yeah.
We've been having power spikes all week, although the power did not go out yesterday, but it went out Monday and Tuesday here.
I think this place is just practicing for the hurricane.
That's
How quickly can I turtle is what this house has been doing.
All righty, well, we'll see. All right, so here we go. First of all, from Capstone Games, we got a game called Maracaibo, but it's an Alexander Pfister game, and I do tend to like his stuff.
Yeah.
It looks like an Alexander Pfister game from the picture.
Maracaibo.
No, it's
Is that an actual place or is that a made-up place?
No, it's set in 17th century Caribbean, so it's probably a real place. You're a seafarer setting out in the high seas, trying to make your fortune by upgrading ships, fulfilling quests, going out on dangerous expeditions, and much more. There are a variety of strategies that can be used in the game to ensure themselves of the win. Also known as a description for a lot of games. But I mean, it looks fine.
It looks nice. It looks good. I like the look of it.
I hope it's good.
Yeah.
Pandemic System. This is a new category of games from Z-Man Games. They announced this. This term will now be what they use as any game that has at its core the pandemic engine. If you're confused, it's Z-Man's fault. And they actually, I'm not saying it to be a joke, they actually said it in their press release. They were like, yeah, we've been really confusing. We don't mean to be. Apparently all these pandemic games, they've been limited editions, which is pushing that term.
Okay.
They've been somehow tied to the city or region where the finale of pandemic tournaments have been held. Mm-hmm. And they just said that was too confusing. Basically, they're just variations of pandemic. And I was confused by the press release because I thought that's what they had been all along.
They were.
I think it was not clear. I mean, from what I read, it was that whole idea of, okay, so you're celebrating, Iberia because the tournament, the final was in that region of the world. Okay. And then, so you're playing, so somebody was asking, them. So that's the one they're playing at the tournament? No, that's just a special release. Okay, so you're not using it in the tournament, fine. It's a limited edition one also. Yes, why? It didn't really have a good answer for that. That's what they're saying. I also assume the problem with that is some of them were based on that, like, Iberia and High Tide or Rising Tide or whatever. But then the Cthulhu one was not based on any place in the world.
We're playing this one in Arkham Horror. I'm like, I will skip the tournament, thank you.
Right? I'd like to pass.
I think what they're doing now, from what I saw, is they're just taking the word pandemic off the top of the box and putting it in the bottom corner. It just says Pandemic System, and the game is called Reign of Cthulhu.
I'm okay with that.
I think it's a good move. Again, we always talk about that, how that looks like an expansion to the game. I swear there's tons of people who think Pandemic Iberia is a reskin of Pandemic or an expansion or something. And it's not, but it's confusing.
So on the flip side, he mentioned a Cthulhu one. They will be reprinting that one. I think that one is currently out of print.
Oh, okay.
I know Iberia is not.
In print or out of print?
Out of print.
No, and that's limited, but again, it's been available for years.
They did not announce the next one, though, but they did hint heavily that the tournament finals at Shucks, the Shut Up and Sit Down convention, and they basically said it does not mean the next pandemic set in Canada.
No, they basically said it's not.
Right. So
They said we're not releasing one to commemorate that event, the Canadian map or whatever.
Maybe they need to come up with a new marketing scheme, and all of their games are limited edition indefinitely.
also known as unlimited.
Lying. That's also known as
Alrighty, Orleans Stories. This is based on the bag building mechanism from Orleans, and the mechanics will be further developed. I don't know a whole lot about this. It has 2 stories. One has 8 eras, the other has 5 eras. From what I can tell, this is a campaign game, not legacy, because it sounds like you don't do anything permanently, but a campaign version of Orleans, because that is the in thing now to do.
If there was one game I never would have guessed was gonna A, get a thematic expansion, and B, get a sequel of sorts that is all about the story, it was Orleans.
Is that a wide angle shot of the board, or is that the shape of the board? Is like the top and the bottom cut off?
Yeah, the top and the bottom's cut out.
Okay,
That'd be
I
a
was
really
like,
weird board
what
otherwise.
in the world? All right.
All right, anyway, there's a bunch of...
Looks interesting.
From Lucky Duck Games, we have Mutants. The card game is coming out soon. This was kickstarted, but it's about to be released soon. It's an innovative deck builder where players lead a team of genetically modified gladiators.
And I'm thinking the colors are purple, green, red, and yellow.
I don't know, it looks like blue to me, but it looks...
Oh yeah, maybe blue.
I'm actually pretty pumped about this because Lucky Ducks is on a pretty high roll for me. They have a few stinker games, the little zombie one and the fruit one, but the Vikings Gone Wild was a really good deck builder,
Yes.
and then Chronicles of Crime is amazing.
Yeah.
So, and I've heard nothing but good about Jetpack Joyride from people who've played it. So this one also sounds good, the
Really?
Mutants one. So
Cool.
it was in 2018, and one of the designers is Senfung Lim, who did Belfort. So, and Jesse Wright, who did Kingdom Rush Rift in Time. I don't know if I played that one.
I haven't.
All right, Exceed is on season 4, and that's Shovel Knight. I did not know there was 4 seasons of Exceed. I'm assuming season 1 was normal Exceed.
I guess
I
so.
have Exceed Street Fighter, so maybe that's season 3
Oh, okay.
or 2. I don't know.
I did not realize that Level 99 was putting out seasons and they were based on different IPs. So
Apparently, Shovel Knight's very popular. There's another Shovel Knight game that was on Kickstarter too.
Yeah.
This is one of those categories of video gaming, I'm assuming it's a video game, that I don't know anything about. Have you played Shovel Knight or any of that stuff?
I have not played it, but I know the kind of game it is. It's a little side-scrolling RPG type game.
I had to use a shovel at night the other day.
Different thing.
And also, stop breaking the law. All right.
I didn't do nothing.
Paris,
Supposed
New
to.
Eden. This is a new game from Matago. I'm actually
Nobody's-
very pumped about this game. This one looks really cool. It's from Matago, and you'll like it because it's in a post-apocalyptic setting.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's from one of the designers is Ludovic Mablanc from
Okay,
Cyclades and
good.
Dice Town.
That's a good thing, yeah.
And it's a dice drafting post-apocalyptic game. It looks really cool from these pictures. I like how the game
Wow.
looks. It's like a post-apocalyptic, but not dark and gritty. More like, let's just get this stuff rebuilt.
Okay. Got it.
The
Yeah,
dice
but
will come
why
from
is it so
action
green?
spaces, and after you take a die, you'll do the action from that location. You'll fight for buildings associated with each dice type, spending dice to purchase the cards.
That looks like the apocalypse was like a really bad cold that everybody just got and then eventually got over, but everything had to shut down. Now we have to open everything back.
Yeah, kind of like we have to replace a couple of roofs, you know.
Either way, I like that it's
It
not
looks good,
super.
yeah.
"Ah,
I get it,
welcome
I
to the
get it."
apocalypse, where there's zombies and mutants and then
Right.
people who eat weird
People.
things.
Yeah.
All right, this will make Sam happy. The Mind Extreme.
Ooh, Oh, dude.
Why you gotta lift somebody up like that and then slam them down?
Okay, you know
But
that
this
last
is
game.
different,
The
though.
one before that, you're probably interested in.
I
Dice
am.
drafting.
Yeah.
But check this out, man. The Mind Extreme. I understand there are now 2 decks of cards.
So instead of there being a deck of 1 to 100, there are 2 decks from 1 to 50. There are 2 discards in play. One's going up, the other's going down.
You know what that's like? The game.
Is it?
Yeah, you're right, it is.
Again, these 2 games keep getting closer together.
The next game will be called the Game Extreme. But here
The Game Extreme
they
already
go,
is
some
a
levels
thing,
now
yeah.
must be
No,
played
mind
blind.
game.
Mind game, yeah.
Some levels of this Mind Extreme have to be played blind, where you play them face down.
Right.
That was already an extreme way to play the Mind, which I never understood why you would play that way, I guess. That's where everyone just plays their cards, but you don't see what everyone plays, and then you flip over the pile and see if you did it or not.
Right.
That sounds incredibly fun.
There's no communication allowed in the Mind except for the actual playing of the card. Once you take that out, there's literally no information.
That sounds incredibly fun.
I believe you. Speaking of fun, there is also more roll and rights coming. And Blocus, Uno, Skippo, and Lowdown. I actually don't know is there a game called Lowdown?
I'm guessing.
Well, Skippo, oh my word. The roll and write game's got, all these games have to be better than Blocus seems kind of obvious. Blocus, although with Blocus you have different color
Seems
pens.
super fiddly, is what it seems.
Like each player is filling all 4 colors in on their own piece of paper, from what I can tell.
Oh,
The Uno one is the one I'm most interested in because I'm just curious, because if Uno roll and write is successful even a little, then some people might be interested in introduced to the genre who wouldn't normally play.
right. Correct.
So
I am more interested in all 4 of these games than anything that has the Mind on it.
Just hang on till
I'm just
Uno the
saying.
Dice Game Extreme comes out.
Hey,
speaking of the Mind, same designer, Wavelength. This was a very successful Kickstarter project for a party game. Did you play this at all?
No, but I backed it.
Oh, you backed it. I played this game. So basically what happens is you put a card in the middle of the table and it'll have two extremes. It might say hot and cold, and then there might be a clue how I feel about Lord of the Rings. And then you pick where it is, and then everyone else is trying to gauge where you would fall on that spectrum.
what spectrum?
Like,
Yeah, so there's like a little circle.
Oh, okay.
And on this side it says hot or cold,
Got it,
hot.
got it. Understood.
And there's a hidden cone
I get it,
behind
I get
this
it.
plastic
I get
screen.
it. I didn't know that there was the fan.
like if it said something to the degree of the temperature Z likes the room, I'd be like Sub-Zero.
Yes. There's like actually a little picture of Mortal Kombat character there.
That's right.
Mortal Kombat!
Fatality.
Anyway, Asmodee is going to be distributing this party game in America because they did not have enough games.
Cool.
Portal has a bunch of Essen releases that they're announcing, and surprisingly, we already knew about all of them, but here they are.
What are they?
Well, one is a game, the other 2 are expansions.
Okay,
the game
I'm excited.
is Pret-a-Porter, that's the reprint of their older game.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And then 2 expansions, Japanese Islands for Empires of the North and
Yes.
Sand Runners for Hiroshima Hex.
Yes.
Have you got that one already?
No. I don't have either one of
What
those.
faction
things.
is this for Hiroshima Hex? Is this like the 12th faction?
Had theirs.
No, there's way more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
How do they keep them all balanced? That's crazy.
Yeah, there's like 13.
Because
There's a
Hiroshima
lot.
Hex
I don't
has.
know. I don't know if it's way more than that. Would be one more, but I think in total there might be 19 factions, but that counts the ones that came in the box.
Well, you actually did a top 10, right?
I
of,
did.
Of factions one
I think
time.
so, yeah.
Do your top 20.
I know pretty soon.
Alrighty. So nothing that's like super surprising. We know he's going to keep making expansions for his popular games. And Pret-a-Porter, this has been talked about for a long time.
Yeah.
I went to, at the meetup on Tuesday, some guys were playing Pret-a-Porter, the original one. I looked at it, I was like, yeah, that needs a graphical update badly.
Yeah, it's like white. Wasn't it? It was just like a whitewash.
Yeah, it looks like a 90s game. So this is, I'm not like completely sold by that cover, maybe.
What, Pret-a-Porter? Or, I'm sorry, principles.
Yeah, well, I think it covers that half
good.
and half thing is like
That's cool.
jarring
I like
my brain.
Looks
Man,
neat.
just get good, bro.
Okay. All right, Rick Loomis, influential game designer and publisher, died. Rick Loomis was the founder of Flying Buffalo Games.
Yeah.
So he was sick. In fact, I mentioned they were running a GoFundMe for him. He was the Gamma president for years. Years, I remember it. And his company, people don't know much about it, the company Flying Buffalo, but they're best known for Tunnels and Trolls, which was like that first, hey, Dungeons and Dragons, now there's Tunnels and Trolls. And he also did Nuclear Destruction, a card game, which I never actually did play. But he was still selling it, and he sold those rubber bands that held the boxes together, those four-way rubber bands at every convention.
Yeah.
He was not at Gen Con, but I think that's the first time I did not see him at a convention, because I definitely saw him at pretty much every other major convention. Alrighty, well that's the news. Let's jump to the war game news.
Today, we're still with Hollenspieler, and we're gonna do a new game. But Bob, he said he was gonna show us how to play table bound. Shut up. He must have his reasons. Yeah, my reason is it's much more fun discovering a new game than sitting here watching me show you how to play. Go on the Hollenspieler website, and they'll teach you how to play. See? I told you. Meltwater, a game of tactical starvation. So how do you win this game? Well, by being the last person to die. Meltwater is a two-player game, solos very well, plays in about 60 minutes, and is an introductory war game. What more can you ask? Can I ask not to play it? Sure, son. You don't have to play it. Here, 2 new dice. Go play it on the highway. Pa, you're the best. The world has been blown up by nukes. There's only one place left on Earth to live, and that's Antarctica. So there's a couple of civilians left. They moved there, and so does Russia and the States, to keep fighting it out to blow themselves up again. These are the counters. American soldiers in blue, Russian soldiers in red. The white are civilians, which can be recruited to either side. This game reminds me of Stanley Kubrick's old movie, Dr. Strangelove, you know? There's something darkly funny about this game. It's like, do I laugh? I don't laugh. So the designer, Aaron Lee Escobedo, made it super easy. He even gives us a quick start setup. On the map, you're allowed 2 chits per hex, but you're going to see some modifiers, like this one here, and it tells you -1, so you're only allowed 1 chit per hex. Here, you're allowed 3 chits per hex, because of the +1 modifier. The sequence of play is a starvation phase, the action phase, and the doomsday phase. Fun! But Pa, what's fun about that? Oh, I don't know, son. If I would have had a choice that infamous night between playing this game or having a drink with your mom, the choice would have been easy. That's right, Pa. You see, there's always a reason to play the game. The Doomsday deck runs the game. C6 and E2, that's where you put radiation markers. They stay on the map. That's a dead zone. No one can enter. A3 are refugee spawns. So as you do your actions, you move, you do what you have to do, attack, and then more radiation markers come out, and then you got less space to move, and you gotta make a choice. And sometimes the choice will be made for you, where one of your soldiers gets turned into the opponent's refugee that becomes later a soldier to kill you. You know, this is a game I think Z would like. Who calls himself Z? I don't know. He's got a big family. He was the last kid born. The rest of the alphabet was taken. Meltwater. No matter who wins, dies. We'll be back next week with more Hollenspiel. Thank you for watching. If you want to know more about war games, check out my show, No Enemies Here.
Welcome.
Hey. Welcome back to another Player Stereotypes segment. And now, we're going to talk about the romantic. How you doing? Anyway,
Whoa! You cannot just turn
I'm
that
just
at me.
shifting my seat. Come on.
You cannot just be like, anyway, the romantic. How you doing? Anyway, like what? No, man. Direct thy attention elsewhere, my good man.
Elsewhere. All right. Well, anyway.
Okay, so who's the romantic?
All right, the romantic.
What does the romantic mean? I don't understand what
The romantic is the person who experiences love at first sight when they play board games.
Oh.
If they win the game, they are an automatic loyal lover of that game
It's like a crush.
forever.
Oh.
And then there's the other side of it where if they don't win the game, they hate it forever.
They are a lover scorned.
Now, of course, those are the two extremes. There's a lot of different degrees in between the two. But the romantic is that person that if they win the game, they love it. If they don't win the game, they find things that are wrong with it, why they don't like it, and all
What
this
if
other
the
kind
theme
of
of the game is, say, Vikings? Do they love it?
stuff. I don't know why that always keeps coming up.
I don't like it.
Vikings, you say?
Oh.
Deal me in.
Oh my goodness gracious. That actually works too, because you do have to be dealt into that game. That's
Sure, blame it.
okay. That's no longer my favorite game now.
See, I thought that when you originally said the romantic, that would be the person who's trying to impress their date with board gaming.
Oh no, that's
Right.
just
That's a
not right.
short-lived stereotype, probably.
Yeah, you find out pretty quick that's not something you should be doing.
Or never, but yes.
Yes.
I don't know. I think it's fine to be a romantic, and I don't think you should be ashamed of gaming. If you're into gaming, that's a thing I see a lot. It's this
No.
idea of like, how many times do I have to go out on a date with somebody before I let her know I own a room filled with games? I'm like, well, I don't know. Pretty quickly, probably, because
They can make a movie about that.
if you're going to be with this person, they're gonna
There's
find out.
there's
It's like
memes
not.
about that,
It's like
actually.
faking. It's like not being you on a first date.
There are
What if it goes well? You're in trouble.
there are memes about that. You realize that, right?
Memes? I've never seen them.
No, but I'd rather someone be this than the person who goes, it was okay. Meh, I liked it. Meh, we'll see. You know, the person who's not impressed
Stoic.
by anything.
Yeah, they're stoic.
I'd rather the person be like, I love it. Although I don't like the person who hates it, I guess.
But if it's
No,
just
I mean-
based on the fact that they won or lost,
Yeah,
that's
that's
so.
the-
Why
that's
is
the
that?
crux.
Why is that
He
so
tied that
important?
in.
Yeah, that's it's his.
No,
pick.
technically, I didn't tie it in.
No,
but-
that's him. That's what he's. This is his segment.
Yeah.
That's him up there.
No, it's not.
That's about 10 years ago
Ah.
when he had hair
More than that.
and smoked extremely long,
Half the man I am.
Yeah.
extremely long
I
mustaches.
don't know if I don't mind people making snap judgments about games like that. Be passionate about gaming, that's fine. Basing on whether you were able to win or lose, allowing that to inform whether a game is balanced, how much you like it. That's a little
Well,
crazy.
no one will ever admit that that's the case, though. I'm like, you don't like it because you lost. Nope, nope, no.
And that's the last component of this segment. The people who are like this will vehemently deny that they are. They will. You like this just because you won the game.
But Paul,
Shut up! No, but I mean that's what they'll do. Or you hate this just because you lost. No. And then they start rattling off this a bunch of excuses as why they hate it or why they love it, and it has. You know, sometimes it does. I mean, you kind of have to read the person's mind to be able to know if they are truly this stereotype or if they truly do like the game or hate the game for whatever reason.
You know how you could read their mind.
No, gosh, please stop.
how?
Please stop. How, Paul?
You play the mind extreme. Now shut up!
The romantic. Okay, that's an interesting stereotype. It's definitely out there. People who
Yeah.
love something or hate it based on how they did at it. I actually forget oftentimes how I did at something fairly quickly. I know people I meet people who are like, oh yeah, I played that last week. I came in second place with this many points. I'm like, dude, I don't recall that stuff.
Yeah.
It has to be something particularly memorable.
I don't think I can be this person because I would say the majority of my wins come on the first time that I play the game. And it's only because Other people are trying weird strategies that they've, this is the first time they played the game as well. And the one that I picked just happened to work okay.
Gee, and you do that more effectively than other people more consistently.
But then when I play the second game, when I play
I was
the
going to say
second game,
something along the same line.
no, when I play the game again, I get trounced.
Yeah,
and then after
but
that,
come
I get
on,
trounced
Kat.
again.
Come on, Kat. You said we're all learning. We're all picking random strategies, but mine tends to win.
But it's random, so how does that...
You are the first date killer. This is going to be your stereotype. He's great on the first date. Second date, he's going to try some weird strategy, so to speak.
Anyway.
We are way off topic
Yes,
here.
we are.
No, we're talking
The
about
room.
board gaming and how to win. I was going to say something else, but I'm not going to.
Please don't.
How to
Yes,
win.
Thank you.
All right, let's move
Yeah,
on here.
Please move on.
Two brothers set loose in a thrift store. This is Thrift Store Throwbacks.
Ah, I got it! Yes! Oh, look at it! Look at it! Look how good it is!
I'm never going to be the same.
Woo! Why did we want to grab this?
For points, baby! That's how you play the game.
But why would you grab poop?
Points. So that was...
Flushing Frenzy.
Okay, let's be real. Let's ignore any sort of idea that this is supposed to be a game. This is incredibly fun.
It's fun for what it is. It's a dumb kids game that you see like commercials for, and
I'm
you
just-
pop poop, you grab it.
I'm just saying we need to acknowledge the feats of engineering that went into this
Yes,
thing. It is
a lot of
brilliant.
time.
You get to catch poop. It's like throw a burrito. I'm loving this era of games we're in.
It's great. I love it.
It's fantastic. This one gets 2 thumbs up.
So that's right. We are the Brothers Murph. That's right.
We're back. And
Just like Back Shoots Back.
Yeah, all right. So we have something to talk about real quick. We have a humongous giveaway going on September the 3rd, live on Twitch at 6 p.m. We're giving away like 80 games. You heard us right, like 80 games, new and old, from our collection being cold, and new things from like Gen Con and all that kind of stuff. So you have to join us at Twitch. And the best way to do that is to follow us on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheBrothersMurph, or you can subscribe to us on YouTube to get more information about the giveaway at The
Indeed.
Brothers Murph. So check it out, please.
Check it out. It's going to be 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Tuesday, tomorrow the 3rd. See you all there. So great to be back on the dice. I'm glad we're going to start back off with this right here.
Win some games, and we promise this will not be one of them that we give away.
Truth.
You're
Thank you
safe.
so much. And until next time, we'll see you at the toilet store.
See you at the plumber store.
104 translucent colorful dice. Yep, I like dice. And these dice came from one game, Noctiluca, game designed by Shane Phillip. Coming up. Hi, Stella from Hippo University. So I picked up this game, Noctiluca, because it is by Shane Phillips of Architects of the West Kingdom, Explorers of the North Sea, and so on. I like his games, but this one is a little bit different. Essentially, it is kind of an abstract order fulfillment dice drafting game. You are collecting Noctilucas, which are the mysterious glowing creatures, for their healing power from the remote cerulean pools. Rule is pretty simple. You start with 2 jars. You place one of your wear card in one of the 12 available shards on the common board. From there, you choose a straight line and call out a number between 1 to 6, and then you'll collect all the Noctilucas represented by these colorful dice. Which pips are the numbers you call out is the one that you collect. From then on, the number is not relevant, as you'll be placing the dice into the matching dice placeholder color of your jars, trying to fill the jars. If your 2 jars can't take all the dice you collected, you will pass the dice to the next player. For some, this could be a bit of analysis paralysis. Game only lasts 2 rounds though. At the end of each round, dice gets wiped out from the main board and refilled. The trick is which dice combination you should take to fill your jars most efficiently without giving too many dice to your opponents. I like this game. So many options you can do with the dice you take, and that is the main challenge. So, that's Nocti Luca. Thanks for watching. We are Meeple University on YouTube. See you next time.
Yeah.
And then I said, I'm bringing the corn on the cob. Hey, everybody. How's it going? Today we're going to be playing 10 for 10. You know, I often get accused, why are you looking at my cards, fool? Trying to cheat.
You get accused of. I'm trying to figure out what the topic is.
I ain't telling you what the topic is.
Well, you have to start the game.
Oh, I do. I often get accused of that I like light games too much. Well, I'm going heavy today.
Uh-oh.
Not heavy games.
I was gonna say,
Heavy animals.
Oh, I thought it was heavy people. I was like, oh no.
I win.
We have here 10 particularly large and hefty creatures of the world.
I better see a hippo in here.
Hippos in there.
Yes.
You guys have to
That's the only one I could think of.
take the biggest ones. Those are the ones you want.
Elephant.
There is several. 2 of them.
I'm gonna call that first. I don't
Here we
care
go.
If it's way back up there.
All right, we've got crocodile, anaconda, bison, giraffe, Indian elephant, whale, shark, hippo, blue whale, white rhino, and an African elephant.
So is the anaconda the one from the movie?
It's a real anaconda.
So this is going by actual weight
the one in the
and
movie
not
was real.
actual like size or girth. We're talking about weight.
Pounds. Pound for pound. Who's the best? Just imagine this is like Rocky 10, and he's fighting animals for the heavyweight champion of the world title. Who would be at the end of that movie up against him? That's who you want. All right?
Boy, oh boy.
All right, guys, who won last time?
I did.
Would you like to draft a helper first or take a card first?
I'm gonna get that 5 or 6 one of these days.
All right, so Sam, go ahead and take one of these.
What's it do?
You took the middleman. This guy lets you peek. That guy lets you arrange only 4 cards. Ha, ha.
That has not been picked now 3 games. Eventually, it's
Maybe
gonna
he
have
needs to be
replaced.
phased out then. Okay, we're play testing it. All right, so
It's the longest play test
Yeah,
in
baby.
history.
all right, Sam. So you're gonna get to take a card first then.
So we want heavies.
You want heavy. What would you like? What is this? Oh, you're gonna look? Okay.
I will keep this one.
Oh.
I would have kept it without looking at it.
Oh.
Right.
All right, so Tom, you've got hippo, white rhino, and African elephant.
I want that African elephant.
You want the African elephant? All right, there you go.
I will
Don't look
keep
at
it.
it. It's yours. Sam, you're down to hippo and white rhino. Again, these are all heavy things, so you just have to figure out which ones are near the top of the list. Would you like to look again? You can't. Would you like the other guy now?
You're a tease. Maybe you can do
White
that.
rhino.
Or it picks one, the other person gets the other 2.
Maybe. It's too good, no? It would work. They don't interfere with one another, the powers. All right, so you went ahead and kept the white rhino. Tom, you've got Indian elephant if you want to go for the elephant set.
I'm gonna go for the elephant set.
All right, and then hippo and whale shark are your choices, Sam.
That's going to be on the lower end of the spectrum. I
You think
can
so?
guarantee. Yep.
Those elephants are about the
Indian
size of
elephants
dogs.
Are dinky. The African elephants are the big ones. Indian elephants are the small ones.
Sam's giving me clues.
Oh, you're helping him, Cat.
I don't care.
Come on now,
I
hippo
don't
or whale
care.
shark?
I'm thinking the whale shark is made of cartilage, and I think cartilage is lighter than bone. So, but it might be bigger because all that blubber.
Blubber
Every time I've seen it-
does weigh something.
Whale sharks are. Man, whale shark. I don't.
That's the big one that eats plankton.
Yeah, right. Doesn't I know it doesn't eat.
Wow, that's really big. But still. Which one should I pick?
I don't know.
You can't ask for
Hippo.
clues.
This stands for
Martha Stewart,
hippopotamus.
man, come on, huh?
Hippopotamus is what hippo stands for.
Oh, that's what that stands for?
Yes, and the word otamus means big ole. So it's like big ol' hippo.
All right.
Would you like to keep that? You're
Look,
keeping
nobody's giving them away this
it. Yeah,
time.
interesting, fellas. It's tricked you into thinking they're all big, so I'm keeping them all. Some of them are smaller than others.
No, I know that. No, it's the actual weight. I think this weighs more than a hippo.
Also, the way you shuffled them and they came out was, I think,
Advantageous.
bottom heavy.
Pretty
Okay,
sure
I can see that.
Bison is
See that.
more.
It's like a moo cow, but bigger.
No, it's thicker than a giraffe, so I'm going to take that.
All right. He's taking the bison.
Man, I don't know how much a giraffe weighs.
It's got that big old long neck. There's a
The
lot of
neck by
vertebrae in that
itself
neck.
is
A lot of bones.
quite heavy.
I'm going to give it to you, and I'll take the other two.
Loser.
All right, fellas. Now we're going to go ahead and arrange these from what you think is the heaviest
We can look
thing.
at them first, though, right?
Definitely not.
Oh, okay. Heaviest
All right.
over here.
Sure, that's what we're doing.
Blue whale is small, I think, right? Small for a whale, that is.
Why does he keep picking up his cards instead of sliding them?
I'm not even looking at him.
I'm just
dude.
saying,
Jeez.
that no one accuses you if you don't pick them up. Okay, you saw that one.
He's trying to like.
You're
I'm
not
all-
fully-
I'm
dramatic
slightly
here, man.
worrying a little bit. I'm
Anyone
like,
in the
am I gonna need to
audience.
intervene here if he like puts that elsewhere?
We'll go here, here,
All right.
here, and
Interesting. Okay, Tom, what do you
Actually,
think, man? Right in the middle of the pack is what you want. Even considering what he
No,
took,
that
what do
goes
you
on the
think?
giraffe, actually.
Giraffe, you think it might be 5 or 6?
I think it might be. It might be 6, but I might be wrong. That's where
All
I'm
right.
putting it. All right,
Who wants to reveal theirs first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
that's number 1. Oh, 10.
Oh, you're in trouble.
Oh my. Ah, that was my
Okay.
good choice for the 5 or 6.
Oh.
If that's 1, you got it.
No,
If you got it, you got it.
Oh.
please. Nope, I didn't.
And you didn't get it
so
either. You're off by
close.
1, Tom. Okay, so that's your total then. You're looking at 31 there.
All right, so then
Tom,
this
what do you
needs
got?
to be the 8.
Good.
Then this should be the 7,
Indeed it is. Still big, just a little smaller.
5.
Oh, Snapple.
Ah!
Oh, what do you think? Hold up now. Crocodile, anaconda.
Oh, it depends on how long the anaconda is.
Well, it's as big as
Or
it's
how
ever
long the
been.
crocodile
That's the
is.
idea.
Oh. Well, there's
What?
also be some big crocodiles, too, though. All right.
Right, that's the idea. Well, here.
Yeah!
So the crocodile, as big as it's ever been,
How many extra points did he get?
he's going to get
5.
5.
I think I still won.
Yeah, I think you do. The crocodile, as big as it's ever been, is about 2,400 pounds. That's over a ton. Anacondas go up to about 550 pounds. It's actually the smallest here by far.
Yeah.
The rest of these are all in the top 10 heaviest mammals, I think
Jennifer
was the
Lopez
list.
would disagree with you.
Sure, and John Voight definitely would. He was rooting for the anaconda.
So 31 to
third-
29.
To 29, yeah.
That is a close score.
That is a
man.
very close score,
If I had
guys.
only guessed. Actually, I was considering doing that.
Yeah,
too.
that would have been good. That would have been right. All
Wow,
right.
I didn't think. You're right, though. So the hippo is not as big as the white rhino. I did not realize
Rhinos
that.
are, yeah, they're massive. I got all the weights here. The white rhino is 4,800 pounds about. So that's over 2 tons, nearly 2.5.
If a white rhino's chasing you, you run.
You
Actually,
play anaconda.
if a hippo's chasing you, you run also.
Hippos are the deadliest, I'm pretty sure.
On this of these, yes.
Technically speaking, they've killed more people. That's what I mean by that. But yeah, the blue whale sort of breaks the scale. You know what I mean? Everything else, even the...
I play Hungry Hippos with little
I think
It's
people.
really
all of
funny,
these-
like going by pounds, it's African elephant, 11,000. Whale shark, 26,000. Blue whale, 420,000.
I was surprised
It's like
you
a
peaked at that.
massive jump.
I felt like that one was obvious.
That one was kind of like,
one.
okay, fine, I'll put the blue whale in, and everything else is way
What's
smaller.
wrong with being sure?
Yeah, you done messed up is what happened. You could have looked at one of these and been like, oh, bum, blah.
But he won anyway, so you're not really giving it a good.
I
All right.
know. All right,
That's-
guys, good game,
By
good
a
game.
minute or a mile?
Well done, well done. You won.
Well, all righty.
Greetings and welcome to the Mega People. I am Thomas Rogan. And expansions. Have you ever played a core game and then you get the expansion and you just can't go back? You can't play that core game without that expansion ever again. It's just not the same. Now for me, I come across that in 2 types of expansions. Number one, the core game itself is great. It works. Everything is well balanced. It's a complete game. It's a 10. But then you get the expansion, and you just get more of that goodness. You get more of that greatness. That dials that thing up to 11. Like Scythe. I enjoyed Scythe. It's a great game. But I can't play this game without incorporating the Windgamut expansion. It's just more of the same goodness. But there are some games that has expansions, and the game itself, it's okay. You have to house rule a bunch of things. Things are kind of lopsided. It's one thing's overpowered over this, and they come out with the expansion to correct the things that they should have gotten right the first time if they did their design work properly and play tested their game efficiently. You wouldn't need the expansion. At that point, the expansion is a requirement to fix up all the screw-ups that the designer didn't care to get right the first time. So thank you so much for watching. If you want to find out more about the Mega People, just go to the website, blah, 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 blah. All my social media stuff is there, the podcast streaming, and the YouTube, the Patreon, blah, 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 yeah. And I will see you next time.
Hi everyone, I'm Doug Jr. from Doug and Doug Gaming, back again with a Fellowship of Meeples. So the last couple of weeks I've been talking about some small things that can make a big change in the game, like the way you shuffle the cards or even the way that you deal. Now, I've gotten several comments, and I always appreciate your comments, whether they're negative or positive. Some of you thought these things were important. Some of you really analyzed them deeply. Some of you thought it was a joke. And hey, that's all right. These are just some things I wanted to throw out there to kind of get us talking and thinking. Today, I want to give you one more small thing that I think we'll all agree can make a big difference in our game. And that is when we have a player that really doesn't want to be there. Well, we've all been there. You've got this one player that for some reason or another really didn't want to be there, and the way that they play the game can totally affect the results that the other players have. So why do we have a player that doesn't want to be there? Well, as gamers, we're always looking for people to play games, and sometimes we try really hard to talk somebody else into joining us because we like to have a big group play a game. Sometimes maybe we try a little too hard and we just beg and we push them and we push them. So what's the answer? Well, I'm not going to tell you not to try to convince people to play because we all like to convince people to play, but I think we have to know when to quit. If somebody really doesn't want to be there, we have to sometimes just realize that not everybody likes to play games like we do.
What?
So, have you got a story about a player that really didn't want to be there, or maybe you were the one that really didn't feel like playing that night, but you got talked into it? Well, share it with us in the comments and let us know what you think the solution is. How far is too far when we try to convince people to play a game with us? Well, we'll see you next time as we start some new topics here on A Fellowship of Meeples. Thanks for watching.
Don't play with knives. Don't play with knives.
I'm not playing. I popped it open. Okay.
Well,
All right. So unfortunately, I did not have any boxes that were necessarily a surprise today. But they're a surprise for you guys, maybe. So I've been trying to get games in the library.
Trying. Succeeding.
That's true. They're like pot all over the house right now.
My goodness.
it's good
we
for
live
the
at Jason's
library,
house.
man.
It's like we
Come
work at
check it
Jason's
out.
house now.
But I had to get some games that were not in the library
Okay.
and add them. So I went to Board Game Geek and stuff. So these are, I'm pretty sure that's what these are.
Why do we need a dude named Adam?
I want you to guess what games that I don't have but should be in the library. Maybe I can give you a clue if I can. I'll have to look at this and see what the game is.
Oh, it's a game. It's a race.
See if I'm correct. Okay, yeah, this is a classic game for many people. This started off the Euro game craze of doing points without a theme.
Kalis.
No, before Kalis.
El Grande. You have that. So
No,
It's area control anymore.
No, it's not an area control game. It's a.
I know it's not victory points for people.
Yeah, this is a victory point game. Has auctions in it. It was ranked number 2 on Board Game Geek for a long time. It never did make number 1.
Genoa,
It's in the same line.
Princes of Florence.
That's right!
Bam, son, in your face.
Sam, you will love this one.
Wow, you got to pick the crappy game. Good.
Yeah, baby, I've played this. Have you played this?
No.
Oh, you don't even know what you're missing.
This is one that you would not like, but a lot of people really like this one. This
You
is
don't know what you're missing.
That's probably true. And I
You
don't
auction
care.
in this game for Tetris shapes. See, this is the original roll and write.
This is the original Hoover. That's truly the original roll and write. I remember playing this. I played back in the day, and I remember if you made a mistake in one of the auctions,
You lost the game.
you lost.
Yeah.
And
However,
there was no way for you to win, to know what was a good bid when you first played.
these are actually not terrible components for when this came out, which was
Well,
like
it's the same
98.
as right now. Come on. In '98, they were fine.
Actually, this may be an upgraded version of it. I'm not
That
sure.
looks about right.
When did this
That's
game
cool. This is an old
came out? Yeah,
Wolfgang
99.
Kramer game.
99. Oh no, 2000. It was printed.
I do like the look of the board.
Yeah, it looks neat.
Yeah, you
I
these
like
different
the font
pieces
they
come
use.
up and
I like
things,
it.
and you're building them, and you're making this little thematic. It's
that
not
a
thematic at all,
swimming
though.
Yeah, baby. It's
With
a
a
water.
diving board?
No, dock.
Oh,
It's a dock,
That looked
yeah.
like a diving board. Sorry.
All right, well that's one
Okay,
of the
wow.
games.
That's good. That deserves to be in the library. That's a classic. You're right. That is a
No,
classic.
that's right, and that's why I got it. I already have Puerto Rico, but Prince of Florence. All right, so that's maybe Sam will get the next one. This is from.
You. I got one. I only did it in 12 guesses.
Ricochet robots.
No, I didn't.
Okay.
Okay, this is one that has recently.
Hungry Hippos.
Unfortunately, this one's probably going to guess first by Z2. I'm trying to think what
No,
he
I'll
said.
be
I
quiet.
give
I'll
to
be
Sam.
quiet.
I don't care.
This
I'll
game
be
is never
quiet.
pronounced correctly. And if you do pronounce it correctly, you sound super snooty. We just played a game recently that replaced it for Z.
He's already got it in his head. Look at it. He's just shutting up. Is it Carcassonne?
No.
Because you do say that. Go ahead and say it. I don't care.
Trois.
Oh, toi. You did sound snooty when you said that.
Trois. It sounded like I was having a mild stroke. Is probably what it
look
sounded
like
like.
that.
Otters and Prince of Florence is so unforgiving.
Shut up.
This is interesting. Is this like a way to keep them from collapsing inside and put cardboard in the
I
boxes?
think there might be something in it. No? Oh, no, I guess not. Maybe.
There is. There was a
More
UPC
cardboard.
code.
More.
Hey, it's already bagged. That's convenient. Yeah, I don't know.
This is out of print?
I think. Well, this is Z-Man. I know Z-Man's not printing it now.
Okay.
Yeah, this was Dark Angel is the
That's right.
game that we played that has a lot of similarities to this.
Actually, I know I played this also, and I know I didn't like it. I
Yep.
just don't remember. I don't remember very much about it.
I don't think I even
In
ever
fact, I was
reviewed
kind of
this.
You
tempted.
gotta play it again. Then.
I was kind of tempted after I played Black Angel. I was like, this is chunky and good, and I like it. But, dude, this theme, and the look, I don't know. There's too many good games that are exciting.
Either
looking.
way, though, I'm trying to put these. I know a lot of people consider this a very classic
Yes.
game, so trying to put these in the library.
Those are both good picks. And
Alrighty.
please don't ask me to play either one of them with you.
Well, there you go. That's what's in the boxes this week.
Do it.
Trois.
Hello, and welcome back to Retro Board Game Corner. Here I have the Black Hole Space Alert game, published in 1979 by Whitman. This is a 2 to 4 player game in which you're racing around the Cygnus to try to get to the probe to escape the black hole. Let me set this up and show you how it works. This is what the game board will look like set up. First, you're going to need to pick a color pawn and start it here at the Palomino. You're going to get dealt a hand of 4 cards. On every turn, you're going to draw a card and add it to your hand. Now, you can only move 1 space per turn, but you need to match the symbol, the number, or the color to move to that space. For example, in order to take that first step, you need to play a cross card, and you can move that step. On your next turn, you need to play an asterisk, and then you can move that step. When you reach over here to this shortcut, you need to play an Android or a Maximilian card in order to take that shortcut. In the event that you cannot match the next square, you have to discard a card from your hand, skip your turn, and wait for your next turn. The object of the game is to race through the Cygnus and try to get to the probe first so you can escape the black hole. What a great game with a nice oversized board. Following the success of Star Wars, studios scrambled to make their own space epic. This was Disney's contribution. On a side note, there is another black hole board game that I might showcase in the future. This still ranks as one of my all-time favorite movies. Well, that's all the time I have for now. If you have a comment, comment below, or you can tweet them to me at RetroBoardGamer. And as always, may your rolls be high.
I win. What?
Hi, I'm Jordan.
I'm May.
And this is Second Chance Kitsch Shelf. We're taking a look back at an older game and seeing if it deserves a second chance off your shelf. Today we're looking at the family game Goblet by Blue Orange Games. May, what is this game similar to?
Tic-tac-toe.
We're going to show you a gameplay of it, and you'll be able to learn how to play. It has just a couple rules, and then we'll come back and tell you if we like it or not. All right, well, that's a quick playthrough of Goblet. May said that it's a little bit like tic-tac-toe. May, what do you like more about this game than tic-tac-toe?
I like that you can cover up pieces.
Yeah, so you can cover up the pieces. That adds a little strategy to the game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, May and I have been talking a lot about strategy in games versus luck in games. And Goblet adds a little bit of strategy that tic-tac-toe didn't have, right?
Mm-hmm.
So being able to cover up your pieces, being able to move pieces and uncover pieces that may have been covered before. So do you like it, May?
Yes.
I like Goblet too. So this one is a good one. But until next time, I'm Jordan.
I'm May.
Happy breakfast.
Alrighty, well that's it for today's show. So a couple things. First of all, if you haven't signed up for Dice Tower West, you better do so quickly. Tickets are going, well, they're going pretty fast. I don't know.
It's sold out.
I don't know how many. It's not sold out yet.
75%.
Yeah, something along those numbers. It's pretty high.
The tickets are going.
So if you want to come, come. We are coming back here later today at 2 o'clock to do our top 10. This is every once in a while we'll do a non-movie list. We haven't done, a
non-game
board
list.
game. We haven't done one of those in ages, right?
Yeah. It's been a while.
I don't think we've done one this year, actually.
I don't think so.
No, yeah.
Anyway, we just did a whole bunch of board game ones. So to take a break, we're doing our top 10 disappointing movies.
Yeah.
And I tried not to make. We'll talk about that then.
Okay.
I got caught up in a rut. I had to pull myself out of the rut with making the list.
All right.
Tomorrow we'll be doing a back talk on a topic, and well.
How nebulous is that?
Yeah, that is nebulous. But so there's different things coming up, so keep an eye out for that, and we'll see you back here in a few hours. Until then, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Thanks, everybody.
Sam Healy. See you on the flip side, folks, and take care.
Thanks for watching Board Game Breakfast. Tune in each week for your daily dose of gaming goodness with Tom Vassell and all the gang. Until next time, I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching Board Game Breakfast, a Dice Tower production. Sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., an amazing place to buy board games. Cool stuff in stock at CoolStuffInc.com.